You're watching CBS News Los Angeles, The Rundown.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ross Palumbo. Here's a look at your top stories at this hour. A major announcement from the NFL just moments ago. SoFi Stadium will host the Super Bowl in 2027. If you remember, SoFi hosted the Super Bowl just 2 years ago when the LA Rams took down the Cincinnati Bengals. Team owners unanimously approved the venue in a meeting just a few moments ago. We're going to have much more on that announcement coming up tonight at 4 p.m.
A few years ago, had a great return to Los Angeles for the Super Bowl with Super Bowl 56. And on the heels of that, excited to come back for what will be the 9th Super Bowl in the greater LA area, and 60 years from that Super Bowl won at the Coliseum. So I'm sure they'll speak to it, but an historic set of events coming to Los Angeles, and this big Super Bowl event in between a World Cup in 2026, an Olympic and Paralympic Games in 2028, a significant opportunity and a great stage to be back in a tremendous stadium at SoFi.
That's going to be Super Bowl 61 coming up in 2027 at SoFi Stadium right here in Los Angeles. We'll have much more on that decision coming up ahead at 4. Meanwhile, dozens of protesters were arrested for blocking traffic on the 101 during the morning commute. KCAL's Jasmine Veal has a look at the situation.
I'm Jasmine Veal, and what a morning. I'm here at Beaudry Avenue and 3rd Street in downtown LA, right above the 110 freeway, where you can see, thankfully, traffic is moving again. But take a look. This was not the case during rush hour this morning. This is when a group of protesters walked right into the lanes of traffic and sat down, forming a line and halting traffic for nearly an hour and a half. They were protesting the Israel-Hamas war. They were calling for a ceasefire and also for our elected leaders, they say, to end U.S. support in Israel. Well, they got their message out, at least to the hundreds of drivers just stuck and idling in traffic where they just could not move. CHP declared an unlawful assembly right before 10 this morning, zip tying the hands of the protesters. CHP said they made 75 arrests, putting them into the back of their patrol cars and taking them to the LAPD headquarters, where they were booked on multiple charges. But at one point, emotions were running high as these protesters were there in the middle of traffic, some even getting into a scuffle with some drivers, being thrown onto a hood of a car as CHP tried to quickly get them out of the way. Cars were left abandoned by some of the protesters. Tow trucks had to be called in. Other cars just had maintenance issues, so they had to be pushed over to the side of the road. So drivers not involved in the protests were impacted, late to work, to school, to appointments. I spoke to one dad whose kids were late to their school all the way in Pasadena. One woman was late to a doctor's appointment, actually at a hospital, by an hour. While one driver told me they understand the message and the right to protest, that this was just not the way to do it. Although I spoke to an organizer of this group out here who had planned this protest, calling for that ceasefire, who said they expected arrests to be made. They knew this was going to happen, that they would do it all over again because they want to grab the attention of our elected leaders. So again, traffic moving back on the 110 freeway after coming to a halt this morning. You're going to be hearing from more of these frustrated drivers and also an organizer of the protest about what they did out here today, coming up on KCAL News.
A live look outside right now as we turn to our weather. A beautiful image coming out of downtown Los Angeles, but changes are coming. KCAL meteorologist Marina Jurica has her next weather forecast. Marina.
Thanks, Ross. That's right. We are going to be seeing some changes gradually, but not for the next few days. It's really not until the latter part of the weekend that we finally get a chance for some much needed rain pushing into the forecast. But it's 70 degrees and very pretty in Riverside right now. And we're seeing winds anywhere from about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Burbank is checking in at 72 with plenty of sunshine, 65 in downtown LA. But you can see that we're definitely getting a little bit of a marine layer out there. So the the closer you are to the coastline, the more likely you will see a little more cloud coverage. But brisk beginnings, as you know, it's been quite chilly in the 40s and 50s across the region. And tomorrow morning, we'll be looking at the same setup. But it's not as mild today with lots of sunshine. We're starting to inch those temperatures out of the 60s into the 70s. And that'll be the general trend with high pressure ruling for the next couple of days. But then we finally get a system rolling in by the end of the weekend that will change that. So low to mid 60s across portions of Malibu, LAX, downtown LA, moving into the upper 60s as you head into Simi Valley and Fullerton. And then we've got some 70s starting to sprinkle in Burbank, Riverside, as well as in San Bernardino. So low pressure will eventually start to glide a little bit closer. And I always talk about that jet stream allowing for more weather to come into our way if it shifts, and that's what's happening. We're shifting. The storm track will move closer to us, and that will allow for us to get some rain, but not for a few days. The highs today look gorgeous. We're going to be in the upper 60s and low 70s, and then we're going to be looking at some changes in the weekend. So Saturday, 68. It'll be windy ahead of that next system, and then 73 on Sunday before we start to see the rain move in Sunday and especially on Monday and Tuesday of next week. Back to you, Russ.
Don't worry about the weekend. We got all that sunshine right now, right, Marina?
Yep, there you go.
All right, thank you so much. Well, it is the invitation of a lifetime for a local high school band and choir. They have the chance now to play at Carnegie Hall in New York, but it won't be cheap. Here's KCAL's Jeff Nguyen.
Jeff Nguyen here at Jordan High School in Long Beach, and right behind us, the band is practicing right now. Now, the reason they are rehearsing is because this group, along with the chorus here at Jordan High School, have both been invited to perform at Carnegie Hall in March. This trip is a huge deal for a lot of the kids here who basically come from low-income families. Some of them have never been on a plane, so this is a huge opportunity for them. They are hoping to go on this trip with their parents, but in order to do so, they need to raise about $150,000, so it is a huge order. The mayor's office in Long Beach has kicked in some money, but they are still short. In fact, so far, they are only halfway to where they need to be financially. So tomorrow night, a benefit concert is being held to raise that money so that the chorus and the band can travel to New York to perform. And they will hopefully be able to bring their families as well. And so the ticket pricing is $55, and we will have how you can contribute and what you can do to help these young people basically impact their lives. So we will have that for you on KCAL News beginning at 4 p.m.
And it is not too late to help kids in need this holiday season. KCAL has teamed up with the CHP to collect toys and gifts to donate to our Chips for Kids toy drive. Just scan the QR code right here on your screen, or you can text toys to 76278, or you can go to chipsforkids.com. Please do. It's going to make a whole bunch of kids happy. You can also donate in person by dropping off an unopened, unwrapped toy at these locations. And today you can join our Susie Saw and Olga Ospina, two of our favorites, at the Riverside Auto Mall until 6:30 for our in-person toy drive. So come out and say hi and help a child or teen in need, and you will love meeting both Susie and Olga today. Well, this has been CBS News Los Angeles, The Rundown. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back live at 4 here on CBS News Los Angeles.
Take part in the joy of giving by donating a gift to local children in need during the CBS KCAL Los Angeles and California Highway Patrol's Chips for Kids toy drive.
Stop by one of our locations and donate a new unwrapped toy for a child or teen. Your donation stays in the neighborhood where you donate.
Join us as we come together and support children across SoCal.
Visit us at one of our drop-off events or text the word TOYS to 76278.
Go to kcalnews.com/Chips for Kids for a list of live broadcast locations.
CBS News Los Angeles, your local news, streaming wherever, whenever.